Yeah, so I mean, generally, it's always been an interesting. Well, yeah, it's been I think it financially, it's always kind of a challenge for the Hex Foundation to somehow, um, yeah, have money for all the things that actually need doing. I think is that a it's an accurate way, and it's I think it's getting better over time. Maybe at least that's the impression I have from the outside. But still, I sometimes think is maybe we could do more. Maybe there could be more channels. Like I mean, not everybody has 25,000 euro to put on the table or something like that. Uh, yeah, yeah, but I mean, there could be
You can also make a one-time donation. Actually, there's a PayPal button right on the website.
yeah.
It's like a charm.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll use
exactly.
it right now.
And there's ways to donate to the foundation, but I mean, generally speaking, I think it would be interesting to know if there's even other ways to support the foundation. Maybe sometimes with manpower, maybe sometimes with just paying for one specific aspect, taking that off your guy's hand. Maybe sometimes trying to put money towards a specific goal, because that, like, sometimes asking my clients, for example, to just donate money to the Hex Foundation so that the problem that we have right now might get fixed at some point. It's not something that's going to fly. But if I could say, okay, if I could get a quote from you guys or something, then that, for example, might work, or I don't know.
Just to maybe you're not all familiar with the way we get the funding at X Foundation. Right now we have 3 support plans at 3 different levels. The low tier is 1,200 per year. Second one is 6,000 per year, and the third one is at 26,000 per year. So depending on right now we have these 3 things, and we are considering maybe kind of having the first 2 ones, like kind of depending on the company size, like so that we like people using Haxe for serious tasks are really should get the top thing. And but yeah, that's pretty much what we get so far. And just when talking about funding, it's not so much of course money is one thing, and I think time is another one. So having companies contribute, making things open source, well, you already do this, and but also contribute sometimes. For instance, saying, okay, I can have one guy available that much days per year, like, and well, if we can help something, that's the kind of thing we might consider doing. So to get some outside help and outside, because one-time request, we cannot hire someone to work on a compiler just for a few days and get rid of him. That's not gonna happen. So bandwidth when it comes to compilers and things like this is limited to the amount of people we have which are already qualified to work on this. So of course, if we get more funding, I mean more long-term funding, like the support plans kind of thing, we can get more people on the team to getting actually paid by X Foundation and work on things. But so we have to find the people, and that's a hard thing. So yeah, so
we have this weird situation sometimes where we want to pay people.
yeah, so
We really do, and they don't want to get paid. They literally don't want to get paid because that means that you have a responsibility and an obligation, right? Like when you get paid to do something, you have an obligation to actually do it. Whilst for many contributors or many people who are working on Haxe, this is something that they're happy to do in their free time, but they don't want to feel like they have to do it. It's like with me and music, right? I'm happy to do it on my free time, but I never considered a career in music because I know that I wouldn't enjoy it anymore. And I think that's the same for a lot of Haxe developers as well, where they're happy enough to donate their free time because it gives them also this sort of like, I'm doing something good feeling. But then when you get paid for it, it's a different story. It's a different kind of commitment.
we can sometimes pay them to write documentation. So that's something they agree on.
Yeah, because nobody really wants to
Yeah, because it's no longer a hobby writing documentation.
Yeah.
So yeah. So maybe we can open. Well,
Maybe I can say something about the I mean to the people. Some of them who don't want to take money to work on Haxe. I kind of understand that, but on the other hand, if we want Haxe to succeed, then I think, I mean, to be at least successful with bigger companies, then they want to have a place to throw money at to get problems fixed. That's what they are used to. It should somehow be possible, and if occasionally you can be a bit pragmatic about that, then that would be, I think, great. You don't have to keep the money.
You can give it. You can donate it right back. Yeah, no, like there are lots of things that like I was thinking about in terms of like I think that anything where we think about like actual kind of products with Haxe, we should avoid. Like there shouldn't be this IDE that you have to pay for, or some like special features or something or whatever. Like I kind of really want to stay away from that, because it's been open and it's been free, and it should always be that way. The same way with kind of like the knowledge about Haxe, like documentation or whatever. What I do think people would be quite happy to pay for is access to developers or to core people, right? Or convenience in that, like sort of like if you could have an onboarding process, for example, like an onboarding consultant in your area or somewhere who could come and look at your stuff or your project and basically give you some pointers in like, is this even feasible? Can I even do that? Or how do I do this specific thing? Look, so it is a nice idea in theory. Now there is this chicken and egg problem again, where until we actually have someone requesting this, we can't go out and look for someone to do this. And on the other hand, like if we don't have someone who does this, nobody will ask for it. So like it's a little bit difficult to communicate around that. I mean, it's up until now we've always managed to sort of like fix when someone came to us and fix whatever they needed, or send them one. Like we've even found people to kind of like go and have a talk, or like there's kind of certainly enough connection in the community. Like if you asked Simon right now, like, do you know someone in, I don't know, this or that area who could come and look at my stuff? I'm sure we could come up with someone, like we could find someone, but it's kind of like for that, like the community is really small and widespread. And the other thing that I was thinking about could be nice would be some like sort of online education process. It's just like more long-term thing. Like after the consulting thing, I think have like an online certification process, or like even an online training process where you could like run your team through basically like maybe a video course or some kind of like online class where, like after a week or two, you can be confident that they kind of like know the basics of the ins and out. Because yes, everyone can train their own people once they have a Haxe developer, right? Like technically, theoretically. But now not every Haxe developer, I mean, no offense, but not every person makes a great teacher, right? And some people are just like really overwhelmed by like, how do I even go about teaching something in the first place? So I think that's kind of like a thing to keep in mind. And I think what we should do right now is actually just on the website make it very clear that yes, you can approach the Haxe Foundation, and you can actually, like, other than the support plans, maybe kind of buy consultant services, like just get access to someone's time, right? Like, and just kind of like, if I want you to look at my things for like a day or something like that.
I think like, for example, getting access to Andy for market value is something that many people would pay good money for, because CI is boring and there's like one guy who can do it really well with Haxe. And consider renting out your Andy.
Maybe you should ask Andy before.
Yeah. Sorry?
I do freelance, so
Hmm?
I'm happy to accept like payments to run on stuff, so just to let you know.
So we should like we should put on the website. Andy is happy to get paid.
But I mean, like seriously, it would be kind of cool, like to go on the website and find really quickly, like if I want to get up with a nice
Okay.
CI and tooling and all that, it should
What
become.
you still have to work out is basically then like I mean it's basically like the Haxe Foundation then is kind of the third party in between, right? Like
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
so I mean you can also go to Andy directly right now.
Yes,
That
but
would benefit the Haxe Foundation.
I happen to know Andy because I'm in the community.
Yeah.
You know, not all the people
No, Andy.
have that situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe we can open up. Yeah, we open up questions and any comments you might have regarding X Foundation funding. So, yeah.
I can also imagine, I know a company, it's recorded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to pay maybe to put their logo on our website, because it's marketing for them,
Mhm.
and they also want to get work via
Yeah.
that. So that's also and now we have these plans, but if you just want to put your logo there and become some kind of preferred partner
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for some companies
We kind of like
yeah, we
interested,
yeah,
and
yeah, I get that. Yeah, we had this thing.
Like a job board. Like
we
saying
thought about
we're
this as well.
available for.
Oh yeah, like yeah.
The Haxe, I used it as there was an internal project at some point that I used to call the Haxe developer dating site, where like companies
it's
could.
not only about jobs, it's also about work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Like a list of contractors.
yeah,
Well, we might do that. I don't know if there is many, but is it only one is kind of a problem for us. I mean, we won't get much money, and they get a lot of work, so they should pay a lot more than what we like less. I mean, well. So well, yeah, that's something you might consider like, to look for. Yeah.
Maybe this is a silly question, but there is a way to create monthly basis small transaction support, not once time.
Like a subscription
You can do that. Actually,
Like Patreon.
there is one guy doing that. I don't know. I don't think he's called Sam. Sam, you're not here. I don't disclose his name because maybe he don't want. No. Okay. Sam is doing $2 per month to X Foundation for something like 3 years or something. So I get the mail every month.
Maybe we should
Oh,
make
it's
that-
it's through PayPal
maybe
because
we
we have.
should, like,
You can
do
get
an
PayPal
option.
donation. Well, we could make a Patreon. We can make a Patreon. Yeah, yeah. Patreon used to be something much more personal. You know, when it's one single person kind of thing, and I didn't want to be kind of the one in front, kind of figuring out I get all the money for myself or something. So because it's not the case. So, but we could make a. I don't know if we can make a Patreon for something more like actual group of
Yeah,
people.
it's like
So.
for $500 a month, you get like half an hour Skype chat with Simon.
Yeah,
We can do that.
that's more expensive than hostess service. Mm.
That's the dating part, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, Patreon. Maybe we can consider it. Yeah. Would you? Anyone in the community will be okay with Patreon? Is it? Yeah, you are. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. A few of them. So. Okay. We might. I will check with like actual rules for Patreon if they allow like more like not individuals but.
For me, at least, this is not have to be Patreon because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
take some commission on that.
Sure.
Any monthly
do that.
subscription
Yeah.
model would work
Well,
for you.
PayPal works right now, but I agree something like Patreon is
like-
more, people, they know Patreon, they know how it works, it's transparent, it's more.
You're just not communicating that you can actually do that. That's the point. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't say
Yeah, yeah,
anywhere
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
website. Like so even if you could break like the partner plans down into like you can have a monthly thing for something
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
sure.
that would make it more accessible to
Mm.
smaller companies or smaller like where you can't maybe commit to the full sum right away. or
Okay,
something. Like
okay,
just
cool.
smaller options basically.
We can do that, I guess. Yeah, sure.
What I think would be, I mean, I don't know if this is realistic or if it makes sense, but at least to give people the the illusion that they have some amount of control, like where the money goes to. Like for the past 5 years, I worked for companies that care for one of the 12 hex targets, you know, and there's amazing work being done on the other stuff, but we don't really care, you know. I mean, yeah,
Don't care.
yeah, but I mean, like seriously, like
Learn to care about each other more with
yes,
also
but
with
you can't
others.
necessarily tell your clients who have like very specific needs that they need to kind of spray their money over all that the hex community wants to do.
Yeah, I see your point regarding that, but most of the work I in particular do is already for the Hex as a whole, and we do very few target-specific work anyway. And you're always gonna have like some work on a specific thing, which maybe someone doesn't know, of course. But I feel like we're in a good place regarding that.
I mean, like, suppose like 50% of the donations that come in are from people who want, say, the ES6 output. Would that kind of guide you in your decision?
Um,
Pay to win, basically. So I think.
I don't know. Like, I don't think you could buy a feature like that.
No, I
Wouldn't
mean
be.
it's not that you can buy, but I mean you can. There's a you can measure that people who are actually willing to invest money have a certain particular interest. I mean, there's no shortage of people who have ideas what hex should and should not be.
Yes.
But there's only a fraction of those who actually use it for you know projects that ship at some point.
Yeah.
And I think like if there were some, I mean there's people who just say, okay, I like Hex, but they don't actually really use it because you would need to add feature X, Y, and Z before you know it gets
Yeah.
before they can. And on the other hand, there's like people who are really committed to this, but there's like things that like really hurt and they still use it, you know. And I mean maybe it's not very clever to attach the communication and the funding to one thing,
I
but
don't
on the
think it is because you're making yourself viable, and that kind of like in some way
Yes,
actually
that's
compromises any
that's
integrity
exactly
that
the
you
opposite
might
of how
have.
companies will see.
At some point, I think we should get confidence from the community that we are doing the right thing for the technology as a whole. And I mean, or we can say it all goes to IDE support, and then everybody agrees on that, and we're done.
Yeah, on the other hand, I mean, I understand the concern. What you said, we have no JS developer on the core team. I totally understand that you're thinking, well, maybe they're not considering what we need because we are doing a lot of web development. So I can see where you're coming from regarding that, but I still feel like we're not neglecting that area. And if you think we should put more focus into something in particular, then I guess just bug us more about it. And even more, yeah.
Be careful what you ask for.
Any other input from the audience regarding funding? Yeah.
I was actually suggesting it to Josephine yesterday, so maybe I tell it to the panel to replace the Google group with something a little more communicative, like discourse or some kind of forum, which will make a lot of users much more comfortable.
So but it's not really about funding, but yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah. So or we could replace, yeah, the Google group. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We could replace the Google group with Discord or something. That's what you say.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy to get rid of the Google group. I'm just not sure.
But how does that give us money?
Yeah, you say it's not for this. Maybe we are actually merging the next thing about open QA because well, we can do the two together because I'm not sure there's people, there's less people, so we can move forward with the thing. And yeah.
One more comment to the Haxe Foundation. So from a business perspective, we've invested in the platform in different ways, but there's certainly seems like there's basically two different propositions, right? One is that you're putting money into the Haxe Foundation just for the good of the platform, and that's certainly an option, but it's a harder decision for a business because there's no direct benefit to you from that, even though you know there's like, so we might make that
You
decision.
actually like get more access to.
super clear what exactly the Haxe Foundation covers out of the entire ecosystem of Haxe, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
because Haxe is many. I mean, it's clear, right? It is an open source community, and so it's not clear that the crucial support we need is necessarily from the Haxe Foundation. It might turn out that what we need is Hughes type or something, right? It might be something specific that we don't know, or it's right. I mean, it's like it's a little unclear. So it's hard for me. I think it's a little tricky to specify quite what the return is if you think of it in that form. If you think of it as direct return, which is why like we've invested so far directly in people we know what we're getting. Right? We hire Joshua. We know okay, we're getting OpenFL enhancements. We know what we're buying. We are going to get a lot of work there. It's a clear trade. That's a much easier decision for business. You say this is what this is worth for us. We pay for it. So anyway, that's just one perspective from the.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think we can help you with a lot of issues and we could communicate that better. And for most other issues, we can at least tell you who can help you. And I think that's also worth something. So, yeah.
Maybe that's the way to present
Yeah.
like what the real what the value proposition when it's not just a straight donation, which is fine. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with the donation because there is value to that too. Just straight health of the platform. I mean that's right. But that's a good thing to think in those terms and say what is the actual explicit proposition, which is laid out to some extent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's a little unclear when we look at it.
Yeah, I
we
get it.
definitely
Yeah,
work
yeah.
on the
I get that.
information architecture on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, just
Yeah, I totally get it. And one thing we also might consider, and we've been thinking about, we are not sure, haven't made any decision, is what kind of additional services we might provide with a support package that business might need and might consider valuable for them, and that we can provide, of course. So right now, as each package comes with access to compiler teams and an amount of hours of support. And well, that's about it. Yeah. Yep.
I was just going to point out that traditionally, compiler teams are not considered by their communities as approachable for specific needs. And as you were saying, further promoting and branding the services that Haxe Foundation can provide is going to fight that traditional perspective.
Yeah.
Not exactly for the panel, but like you said, you have as a business a need. So for instance, you might have Joshua, but this is for a wide need. You need a better benefit, but for something very specific, would you as a business hire someone for that, or more go to the Haxe Foundation for something more clear?
I mean, we'd be open to. I mean,
For
whichever,
something
right?
very
Yeah,
specific,
something
like
specific,
a
sure.
10-hour work.
If there was some way to do that, I mean, it's just yeah. I mean, sure, we'd be happy to pay for the value. I mean, yes, no question. I mean, that's right. But I mean, the challenge there would be knowing who to talk to, which is, I mean, to Simon's point, right? I mean, that's knowing who you should even talk to is a valuable service because you're right. That's not at all clear when you. As part of the reason we come to the conference is to learn a little bit more about who should we be talking to, right? So that's but absolutely. I mean, we do contract work. That's kind of the way we work with Eric on the IDEs. We're just paying for a slice of his time, and certainly we would do project work, whatever. Yeah. Businesses do that all the time, right? And that's the nature of what we do. Yeah.
Maybe you not like the idea, but I think that there is a problem that Flash dies, and now a lot of companies need to port the Flash games into other technologies. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that if there is some team or consultant that you Forge Empire create their own converter and dug there. So if Haxe team create solution or not only solution but also not just an advice and people that work with the company through the process. So I think that company
Like your conversion buddy.
put some money.
Yeah, like outofflash.com. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I get the idea. Yeah, yeah. It's more like the thing is, I totally agree. It could be kind of business-wise, it's a good decision, but we have to ask ourselves if we want to be a software service kind of things. It's a bit different. You have to have business developers that go like sells the things to the company. So it's a bit, yeah, it's feasible, but
I was to say I wouldn't put too much promise in that, because actually a large portion of moving the software code base over isn't moving the software code base over. It's moving the engineering team over, and that's not something that's helped by outsourcing the work, right? It's like if some other company came in and moved all the code over, I'm not actually that excited about that, because I need my development team to understand what they're writing, all embrace the new technology, determine that they can use the tools. I mean, all of that is really a large portion of what's really happening, even though from the outside you say, well, now we have a new code base, right? So I would imagine it's actually pretty hard that even if the word company was offering that, I'm not sure we'd embrace that. So
Well, I mean, but the thing is, I mean, to build on that, yes, there's no point in having that just done for you, but there's a lot to be said for being helped and guided by people who have suffered
Like an
through that,
onboarding consultant, right?
you know.
be helpful, but
And you know, just maybe to come on site and already warn you about the 5 worst mistakes that you can make. And on the other hand, I think there's more that comes out of that than just a pure money for sending someone. The other thing is, like, you have a huge, big company committed to the platform. Then, yeah. And so yeah, maybe we should,
We need
maybe,
an onboarding team.
yeah. And if we want to do that, we should do it fast, because in 2 years it's gonna be totally irrelevant.
Okay, do we have any volunteers?
the thing we were talking with.
There we
yeah.
go. Sold right there.
It's recorded. You have no choice now. Yeah. So the thing we are talking is to kind of cover kind of success stories with our partners that have been going through the process, and kind of write detailed blog posts about what was their take on this topic, and about getting out of Flash, and what kind of solutions they came with, and what were the problems they hit into, and how they solve them, and of course how much they are happy in the end with the solutions they have. So if we do that, and if kind of share that around, that might bring some other people to consider like similar ways of doing that. So, yeah, Mr. Volunteer.
I know it's probably expensive, but if there was a video series that was like, so you have an ActionScript 3 project, what are you going to do? I think the number of
Cry.
people that would bring into the Haxe community would be so large it would pay for itself.
What I want to do on our website is have, like, right on the front page, have some question evaluating Haxe, how can we help you or something, and then I have a ActionScript 3 code base, and you click that, and you get success stories, and maybe some technical information, and maybe some videos if someone produces them, and we could do that for more stuff too, and I think that would really help companies.
We can have your talk.
Yeah.
And other talks, always. Yeah.
I mean, that was also for us, of course, the most unknown thing in the end. Even after evaluating stuff and creating prototypes, if that will really work out or not, it was kind of, we had to make a decision, we had to set up a business plan for that. But if that really pays out in the end, was not known, right? Yeah. And we had some options also, I mean, running on the side, I mean, also with other companies, so trying to find something, and we built our solution as basically just a fallback solution. And in the end, I mean, like, to have something in our hand with what we control, and in the end this worked out now, this is nice, we see, and I would say we had a breakthrough, still it's not yet a post-mortem what we said, it's not yet finally done, completely done, not a complete success story, but still, I mean, doing a decision without knowing if this pays out is of course difficult to do for a business, and this can help a lot, of course, if there are these success stories, that's for sure.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So.
We've been doing that. Yeah. Any other thing regarding funding, organization, or my open Q&A? So because we can move to the question, because we won't make a break and another thing. I think we on. Yeah. So we are done with funding mostly. So open Q&A now. Any question you might have, not regarding to funding, just raise your hand. Or do we already answer everything? Yeah. Okay.
For Simon, since you asked everybody, what would you want to have in Haxe that isn't now?
Well, we're working on some asynchronous support at syntax level, so you can do asynchronous stuff more easily, because right now it's kind of messy. and you have to nest functions, and that's not much fun. So Dan is actually working on that. He's working on coroutines right now. We're still trying to figure out how to do it exactly, but we might have something in Hex 4 regarding that. And other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with what we have. There's nothing major. I mean, null safety would be nice, but it's a huge topic. It's not easy to do. So Philippe.
Can we have const?
I mean, you mean const like which is basically our static inline variable, right? That thing that you assign a value to and then never.
Const for local variables that are not going to be.
Not going to be changed. Yeah, that's also a big of a broader subject, I think. Because if you look at const in C++, it's a big of a monster. And
Nobody wants that though.
yeah.
Interested by the const like in ES6,
Hmm.
which is not a true const.
I let him answer and say no.
Yeah, first it's not the true const, you get it right. And I failed to see the whole point, to be honest. You know, if you don't want to modify the variable, don't modify it.
It is very important because when you have a significant piece of code and if you use throughout the code base only const within the function bodies, when you use var, you inform the reader of the code that the value is going to be mutated during the course of the logic. If it has const, you know you can skip, and this variable is the value that has the initial value.
Why do we have default null fields then, and not just public fields? And if you don't want to change them, then don't. It's kind of the same thing.
And a point.
Yeah, but if you want to go we should have var being const by default and have mutable var for var that get modified. That's a whole different. Yeah, I know you like it, but we were not going to do that. So well. Yeah, icons require somehow to rewrite the whole code represents var by const. If you want to go this way, no. I feel that's maybe kind of. I can understand this from this perspective, but this require kind of to rethink your whole code base in this aspect. Oh, surely it doesn't have any problem. I mean, it's not going to break anything apart from people using const for a variable name, which might have some. We might have some in the standard library maybe. And yeah. Is it maybe you had something to add? Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, we can agree on that. Yeah. Well, I well, well, maybe. Yeah. That's reasonable. We can maybe do something about it. Yeah.
The problem is if we start with that, like easier syntax for these things, and people come, can we have an easier syntax for read-only properties, for example, which I think we should have, but it's kind of like you open a bit of a path there and have to decide how far you want to go, how many syntax shortcuts do you want to provide for that. So we have to think about that a bit, I think.
It is about adding more compile time safety.
Sure. The thing is that one thing I considered when I designed Haxe originally was to keep it as much simple as possible. You know, not try to add things that are not strictly necessary somehow. And I think we cannot manage to do that. The amount of things you need to learn to write Xcode, the amount of syntax is really short actually. And so we didn't add a lot of fancy thing that comes from like more modern programming language that has new constructors. So the whole goal is to be able to kind of, learn Haxe very fast. And I think we doing that right now quite well. So of course and then what was my main reason for, not really very happy with lambda function, this kind of thing. So, so yeah, like Simon said, of course adding consts is, to be honest, maybe 1 hour of work for us, something.
Right.
Maybe if we want to add it, it's 1 hour of work or something, or two.
Just change the product.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I
there you
mean,
go. Fix
I mean,
all the bugs in the standard library.
just pretty quite straightforward. So it's not about the technical difficulty of it or something, or the laziness we might have at some point. So it's mostly about design, really actual design decisions and how it does impact the language from a design point of view. So that's mostly it. Yeah.
I don't think that anyone would expect C++ level of const.
Yeah, expect maybe someone coming from C++ to Axe, and we have this kind of guy too. So, well, that's, I mean, yeah, const has a kind of, it's not entirely clear. I come from C++, to be honest, and it's not entirely clear to me what const actually means. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah. It might mean something to you, but if it doesn't mean something to someone else, you're just kind of making some confusion about what it means. I know what var means, and I think we can all agree on that. But const is a bit more trouble. Yeah. And then you might want to have const arguments also, and optional arguments with const. As many different implications that might be going like that, and we have to see through all of this before making a decision. So yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. No? I was just saying that you're talking about const as in Java final almost, right? Yeah.
Some other languages also use the val, not var.
Yeah, that's.
Or you
You can't make the difference just by looking at it. You have to look at the
That's a concern.
or let.
Well, that will be a problem
Any
for
plan
JavaScript.
to improve the error messages?
Sorry?
Any plan to improve the error messages?
They're already perfect, right? Yeah. So yeah, regarding improving the error messages, we got some. I had 1 or 2 people coming to me during the conference about it. One thing we would like you to do, because we like the errors, they are like the way they are, but maybe they are because they tell exactly about the compiler what it does. But for users, if there's some of them you often it into and they don't make a sense to you, just write a small example saying, when I write this, I get these error messages, and I don't know what the fuck it is, and I expect maybe these error messages instead. And just do that, and the other guy, when you see someone that's just +1, and when there is no fudge, we will switch the message. And that's better for you. Yeah.
Well, it would be nice in addition for that is that all the errors have some kind of number.
Yeah.
On the website, somewhere in a big page, error 1 is no reference thing.
Yeah, I actually started working on that, and it was like the most boring thing I've ever done because you have to go through the entire code base and replace all the error messages with an identifier and then start enumerating that, and it can be done. I'm not sure it's worth the work, to be honest. It's nice to look them up, yeah, but
Is it really hard? Because
it's not hard at all. It's just annoying because you have to find all the error messages and somehow factor them out and stuff like that. So
I would recommend to spend some.
okay.
It's it's in OCaml. Yeah, I just yeah, and it's been recorded. Okay. Okay. Very good. Anything else, Philip? Yeah.
Isn't it the other way around?
Maybe it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Basically, you see them all in the error reports.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense though, because the compiler tells you what it derived. So you get some wrong field, right? You forget a field or something, and that tells you, okay, you forgot the field because I expected this type, but it was this type, something like that, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that it more tells you, like if you take the mouse event type def, instead of saying it doesn't correspond to the Mark 7 event, Mark 7 definition, well, it tells you that, and then it tells you the, I don't know, 50
properties of the type def as well in the error report.
Oh.
It's possible to understand because it doesn't even clearly say, oh, you're missing maybe this and this field. It just says this is the type def doesn't match this other type def.
Okay.
It should tell you which fields are missing, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it should. Yeah, it's typically the case that I also often it into and I'm annoyed by it. I haven't looked into it. Yeah.
Missing in this picture.
So yeah, just write it on an issue and we do that because that's Simon will always have like 3 fields type defs, no more than that. So that's why he doesn't get the problem. Yeah. That's a workaround. Well, we can't indent because some ID they might break with that.
But they can fix that.
Oh, I mean, you want to indent the message, not the we can do that too. Yeah, sure. Yeah. 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 Well, this.
Just importing the name of the original type def is enough.
Not always. Yeah, not always.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, if we can help you giving the actual field missing, it's really helpful. Then I mean to look it by yourself. If it's an API you don't know about, then it really helps. So, and if you have a typo in one of your field, you might want to know that it's this one. So that's yeah. Well, submit issue, but it's when you have actual cases, and this is one, but you need to submit it because we might have forgot by the time we come back home. So, and please do. Yeah, we will fix as much. It's quite easy to fix in general. Any other questions? But anything? Yeah.
Yes. So as I mentioned, I'm going to, and as I was answered, we should try to report an issue, but we would like the compiler to be able to work entirely in memory and not emitting any file. If you don't want to emit files and just get everything streamed
on standard output. Yeah, it's like output file minus.
Could be that. Could be standard out, but then even if you have many files.
Yeah. We need some kind of protocol to kind of. He's not fan of it. Yeah. What for?
Yeah.
Because there are workflows and tool chains where you can work without outputting files, or you want to transform them, or working with Webpack, or with Modular, you just don't want to emit any file, you just want the output, and then
You write on the file, read it, erase, and see memory.
That's what we're doing. I'm replacing the output to a temporary location, and that's kind of awkward. That's I/O where you just stay in memory.
Well, I agree with him. Well, that's required to write a lot of things about a virtual system, so it's a bit annoying to be. Might consider. Yeah, actually. Other things? Yeah. No. So, are we like done?
Then we're done.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you and have a nice travel back. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.